My name is Sunil Sharma. I'm the managing director for Sophos India and SAARC business. So, threat landscape is evolving. If you look at the way threats are coming in now, they are becoming more complex for CISOs to handle them. Uh, we are, CISOs are facing challenge in terms of not only just detecting, but how do they remediate and take necessary action. So there is a big challenge which, as of today, CISOs are facing because of the old technology which most of the companies have been using it. And if you talk about threats, they are absolutely evolving every day, every minute. If you look at ransomware, we did a study on almost 2,700 CIOs. The study was sponsored by Sophos, and we found this was primarily 10 countries, not just the India, but India was one of them. And what we found that there are 67% of Indian organizations which got hit by ransomware in 2017. Out of that, 38% got hit twice by ransomware. So ransomware is becoming a menace. We are talking about organizations. I have examples where like individuals have been targeted for by ransomware. So this is a big challenge for 2020. I probably would say that ransomware, along with some other, utilizing or exploiting some other vulnerability, people are going to have those kind of attacks. They will be going through those kind of cyber attacks. So ransomware, in my opinion, is going to be a big menace for our challenge for our CISOs, for our IT society. So that's a big challenge. That is one. Secondly, a lot of companies, what is happening is that they are utilizing the vulnerabilities in the softwares. Apart from the network entry, apart from the endpoint entry by virtue of people using USBs, people using some of the other software where they find that there is a vulnerability, they would like to exploit that. So it is going to be a big challenge, in my opinion, as we are looking at in 2020. And CISOs need to be prepared. Now, when we say CISOs need to be prepared, I think they need to be prepared in two ways. One is that they need to have solutions which are able to effectively not only just stop, not only just detect or stop, but able to remediate if at all there is some challenge on some of the nodes. But at the same time, CISOs have, again, they have a manpower, they have their own employees, their team of, they need to be absolutely aware of and be more trained to handle such kind of cyber threats by virtue of ransomware. So these are, and thirdly, the organization employees, what is not to do. I think that's very important. People just forget what to do, or people just do what they're supposed to be doing. But what is important is that what is not to do. So for example, there are so many links which are coming in, which social engineering today has become a prime reason for such kind of attacks. So they are using and sending mails and sending links. People just click it without even a knowledge that where it will lead to and what kind of malware is getting implanted in their organization. I think that is something, education, awareness program internally. So CISOs have a big challenge, not just only to train their manpower, but at the same time also making the complete organization, which is evolving. Or, you see how many employees today joining, tomorrow leaving. So from that perspective, making everyone aware and what do's and don'ts they need to follow. What are the best cyber security practices which they need to follow? I think, in my opinion, is a big task and big challenge ahead. When we look at user-based malware, I spoke about it has two parts. One is that by virtue of social engineering, apps and people sending those kind of links. So that is, one. Let's understand before we, how do we stop them. And second is under the user based, there is a USB malware, like people using USBs and transferring the data from one device to another device. So that's the second. Software vulnerabilities, I'm sure you are aware about WannaCry, which was a big news in the newspapers, and every TV and every media covered that. It was today people who actually were able to protect or able to patch the softwares what they were using. So it is very important for the CISOs to be aware of what inventory they are carrying, not only just the software but other inventory in their system, and whether that inventory what they are carrying, is it properly patched and up to date softwares are being used. If at all they are using some pirated or something which has not been patched, they need to be aware of and they need to take a action. For the social engineering kind of, it's all about how you educate your employees. I think I did speak in my first answer also. It is very important for making the people aware that what is to be done and what is not to be done. And by clicking one link which is talking about that, hey, you get 50% discount, but that is not for you, which is, I think, a kind of attack or a malware implant objective by the cyber criminals. So these are some of the actions, in my opinion, CISOs need to take to protect from such kind of attacks. Sophos has 3 or 4 pronged strategy. One, Sophos as an organization is a organization which believe in innovation. All the time, if you look at, we are innovating. We had, I still remember 2 years back, we had a investment of more than 140 million US dollars just in research and development, which is a huge amount of investment, coming in from an organization which is almost, let's say, 768 million in revenue last financial year. So we are innovating on all our products, each minute, each second, number one. Number two, we have a Sophos lab where we have 400,000 unique malwares are being coming in for the purpose of providing of remediation to our appliances, to our software, to our product profile, so that we are able to protect our customers from such kind of attacks which are supposed to be happen in future. Number three, Sophos speaks about sync security. Sophos is not just about one particular product. Sophos is about sync security. What does that mean? It means that all your products, whether it is at the network level or it is at endpoint level, they speak to each other. You speak to each other and say that, well, I am okay, are you okay? And there is a kind of a heartbeat which is going on. And what exactly that means? It means that if you have a heartbeat happening, and if somewhere we found that there is a heartbeat which is broken, then that particular endpoint gets into a quarantine zone, does not come back until it becomes healthy. So that is sync security concept. And fourth is the kind of product profile which we have, starting from EDR, which is again, we are talking endpoint detection and remediation. And then you have endpoint detection and response or remediation. And then we have now MTR, where we are doing threat hunting for our customers who do not have expertise. Majorly, I have found most of the customers will not have those kind of expertise that they are able to find out in their network and do a threat hunting 24/7, which is kind of a proactive in nature I'm talking about. So if the cyber criminals are becoming so smart, then we have to be smarter than them. So EDR, MTR, and Central, which is a dashboard where on one dashboard, you're able to see what's happening in your network, what's happening on your endpoint, what's happening at the access point. So it covers up the entire, infrastructure. And obviously, last but not the least, the educational kind of, softwares on cybersecurity like Fish Threat, which is very, very important for organizations today to make their employees aware of what are the best cybersecurity practices they need to follow. Cybersecurity trends, one is ransomware. That is there is no doubt that it is coming in different flavors. You'll be surprised to know that first ransomware was found in 1989. So it is so old. And one can ask as to why till now we have not been able to find a solution. The answer is that there are different so there is a development or evolution kept on happening on the ransomware. And even if you look at the WannaCry, they combine that with another vulnerability exploit, kind of attack. And that is how WannaCry, that became a WannaCry. So people are making it more complex. One, that the customer is not able to detect. And even if they are able to detect, by the time they have detected, half of the job is done, and half of the machines are encrypted already. So he has no option, customer has no option but to pay back. So ransomware is the first one, I would say. Second is a lot of mobile apps which are coming in. Mobile apps, if you look at, there are every day thousands of new mobile apps are being generated and coming in. Now, who is going to check that what vulnerability is existing in which particular mobile app? And we people as consumers are downloading them left, right and center. We don't know. On the same mobile, we are also having our app for our bank, our app for any kind of payment system. But on the same mobile, we are also having so many. So the point is, that's another second trend. And third, last but not the least, on the cloud. People are putting a lot of stuff on the cloud. It's good. Cloud usage and adoption is definitely the need of the hour, because of people would like to move from capex to opex. But at the same time, important aspect is that are we really able to have a visibility on the cloud, what's happening? And not only just a visibility, but also able to understand that it's a shared responsibility to secure your data on the cloud. It's not like you have put data on any of the platforms like Google, Azure, or Amazon, so you are secured. No, it's your shared responsibility also. So I think these are the important three factors or three trends which I am looking at in the coming next 1 to 2 years. So Sophos have the products. So when I was talking about the third one on the cloud, we have Cloud Optics as one of the product, which gives you complete visibility, which gives you visibility not just in one dimension, but also helps you that what is the required action which is supposed to be taken by a CISO or a IT head. It also gives you different kind of formats, like you have HIPAA compliance format. So if at all you are missing on that, so you come to know about it. So that's one of the product which we are giving to our customers today. On the other hand, a combination of network firewall and on the endpoint EDR, 6i EDR, these kind of product combination by virtue of SyncSec, synchronized security, I think this is really helping our customers to make them protected from such kind of threat vectors which are coming in. First and foremost, please have all your software or the inventory what you have updated. Very, very important. Okay. Number one. Number two is whatever inventory you have a firm record of that. And if at all there is something which has come into your inventory by virtue of some guest has brought in something, you should be aware of, and what action is required. I think that should be well defined as a practice, a cybersecurity practice in your environment. And third, last but not the least, multi-factor authentication is the name of the game today. Just don't rely on one. Have multi-factor authentication as admin wherever you are using. Go for multi-factor authentication. And I think I would say and suggest and recommend that have a demo or a trial. If you are not using Sophos, just have a demo or trial of Sync Security, and you will really, find it very, very useful in today's environment for the new threats which are coming in, the evolving threats which are happening. And I think that's what I would like to advise them.